going to be able to go live on Facebook. Facebook and Zoom have an interesting relationship. Sometimes it goes right away. Sometimes it's like I got to record it and put it up. But
Right.
we'll go like 10 minutes-ish. And then I'll give you, I'm going to see how many suggestions we have. I put it up on to get people's comments. So then you just pick a number, and I'll tell you what the corresponding and then we just go.
And then do you call it?
Yeah, about
Nice.
I don't know, around 10 minutes in, I'll just call scene, and then we'll sit and we'll chit chat about, like, I don't know, maybe there's something that pops up in the piece we did that might inspire a conversation, or it might just be like talking about what you've been doing lately. We'll just have like a real short conversation. Then I'll ask you if there's anything like you want to promote, or how people can get hold of you and things like that.
Great. Love it.
All right, buddy. Yoo-hoo! We are on, and Adam, my friend, we have 24 suggestions.
Ooh.
So pick a number 1 to 24.
I'd like 15.
Great.
Oh no.
I'm laughing because I have to now count. I haven't quite mastered. So it's like,
give me one.
No, we got it. It is
okay.
The suggestion comes from Rosanne Nelson, and our suggestion is oops.
Great. Yikes.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm not great with names, but kind of feels like I should have known that one.
I claim to have a real knack for names. And so then I get in a place and I'm like, and I have a fear of saying the wrong name. And then it's like, names are such a personal thing.
It's the first thing you own.
It's the first thing you own.
Right?
Yes.
And like faces though. Faces I can do. Faces easy. Yeah.
Like that.
I remember my kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Right? She had a mole right here. I could pick her out of a lineup today. Her name? No idea.
And you probably don't even know her first name. You might be, if somebody told you her last name, you'd probably go, yep, that's it. But like a teacher at that age, they're only their last name. That's it.
No, I have no clue.
Yeah.
What's your stance on like forgiveness?
I want to say I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I want to say like I'm all for it. But there are some things I don't know if you can forgive people for. I don't know.
Cause like, okay, I've met your wife so many times.
You've been to our house.
I was at your daughter's christening.
Yes.
I was there.
Yes.
It's not because I don't care about her.
No. Absolutely.
You could just get that feeling. Sometimes you get nervous, and I don't want to screw it up.
The problem is, and thanks for stepping out with me. I didn't want to have this conversation inside.
No, it's good.
You called her by the name of my very first girlfriend. They had very similar names. And so it's not like, I know you, Paul, you have no malice. You are not somebody who, you don't have a mean bone in your body. And she knows that. So it triggered something in her. And I'll give you a little bit of the backstory, and this might make more sense now.
Please.
I reconnected with my first girlfriend on Facebook just recently. And so my wife was like, didn't quite understand. She's like, why are you connecting with her? What do you have to talk to her about? And to be honest, I don't really have anything that I need to talk to my first girlfriend about. But she said it was a friend request, and I said, yeah, I'll be friends. There's no
What are you
harm.
gonna do?
Right,
Yeah.
that's what you do. And then I was looking through her photos because I'm like, what has she been up to? What's going on? And then my wife came in and saw that. And like, really, I tried to say it was nothing. I tried to say like, oh no, I was just, a friend of mine sent me this. I didn't own up to the fact that we were friends. I was very scared and I was nervous. So I compounded things a little bit. We just had that conversation yesterday. And so when you came on and you said you got the names, confused, she also thought that you might be like pulling a prank and that you think it would be
No,
funny. I know, Paul, I
no,
know,
no,
I
no.
know, I know, I know, but that's what you walked into. And then when you said it and you saw that she got so mad, I don't think when all of this dust settles, I don't think that it's something that she's not going to forgive you for. I honestly don't think there's anything to forgive you for. I think this is really between her and me than it is with you getting her name wrong.
Well, it's Cindy and it's Cynthia,
I mean,
right?
they're
It's like,
very similar, right?
okay, so what I could possibly do is I could possibly pass it off as a joke, or like a short form, right? Of like, I call my friends that are named Cynthia Cindy,
That's your
I could
thing.
do that. That's my thing. The
My, I think that's a good idea. My follow-up thought to that is like, I don't know if that would compound the situation. Like, if you're gonna do it, that's great, but she's hot right now. Like, and again, this has nothing, Paul, this has nothing to do with you. This has to do with it's a very raw situation right now. If anything, I'm the one to blame here.
no, Dan, you know what Cameo is?
Don.
Don.
You said
No,
Dan.
no, did I?
Yeah, you said Dan. It's Don.
Well, I call my friends that are Don. I call them Dan
Okay.
because if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I love you. you know.
No. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, we you know what it is? We've been talking about this, and then it got in
That's
your
what
head.
I think. I just got. It's the nerves.
Yeah.
The,
Makes sense.
um, you know what Cameo is?
Well, there's the band Cameo that's saying "Word Up." There's the it's like a you can talk to celebrities and have them. Yeah, it's
That's the
like an
one.
app. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that one.
So I got Cindy.
D.
I got her a Cameo for her birthday today. Why I'm here.
Oh no. What? Okay.
I think she's gonna get an email.
Oh no.
Oh God, she's gonna get an email any minute now from Steven Tyler.
Oh no. Oh
Steven
no.
Tyler's gonna call her the wrong name.
No. Oh no. So she's thinking. Well, this is going to go one of two ways. Okay. One way is she's thinking, "Oh, isn't this really, really funny? Isn't this funny? Wow, it's not bad enough that he called me by the wrong name. Now he's getting someone else to do it." The second way is she might think this is really funny.
Yeah, I say we lean into that one.
Yes, I think so. I mean, honestly, we don't have a choice right now.
It is. It could be. It is such. Okay. Okay. You told me about the Facebook incident.
Yeah.
And I, as your friend, as your friend of your wife, said that is so preposterous.
Right.
I am going to bring it up because there is absolutely nothing for you to worry about.
Right.
That's how funny and casual this whole thing is. There's no malice.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? You've always been that kind of guy, that gregarious guy. You've been a joker, right? I mean, if anything, now that we're talking about it, what I'm thinking is, before I said this isn't the time. I think this is the right time to go and talk to her. I think right now is the right time because she's going to be getting that email and she's probably going to be looking around. And if you say to her, hey, I just wanted to pull you aside and I just wanted to tell you, this was all in good jest. And, I think the fact that here we are right now, and it's her mother's funeral, there needs to be a little levity in the situation, right? I mean, everything right now is so heavy and we do miss her. Don't get me wrong. We do miss her and she's was an amazing woman. But if
And
anything needs to happen right now, we need to add a little bit of lightness to this because, this has been something we've been waiting on for a long time and it's finally come.
I mean, it's a bit of a blessing. She was not doing well.
No, she was not.
No. And I think, your wife sat with her mother for so long.
Yeah.
It's kind of admirable.
Yeah.
And I felt that maybe this would bring a smile and a sense of normalcy that maybe she needed. And if I misstepped, that's on me. And I apologize, but I really think that this was a good-natured ribbing. And that could work.
Yeah. And I don't think she said some harsh things, but I don't think that you stepped over the line. I don't think there was a line for you to step over. I think what you did was an honest mistake. And now I think we've got a very believable and ironclad excuse of why it happened.
She said some rough things.
Oh yeah. Well, again, it was like I think you were not the powder keg. The powder keg was there. You were a spark, but if you weren't going to say it, something else was going to happen. So it was a perfect storm of. Ugh. So
can I ask you something?
Anything? Yeah.
The glass that fell.
Yeah.
Did it fall or was that her throwing the glass?
Yeah, it fell.
It fell. I understand. I'm sorry I put you through this, okay?
Hey, I got to be honest with you. I'm glad we could talk about it because I felt so alone. I felt like I didn't really make any error in judgment. I was just this all could have been avoided had I just been honest from the beginning. Had I just said like, oh yeah, we're friends. Like I think at that point, then we'd have a good laugh about this. In a few days, all of us are gonna have a good laugh. You,
Yeah,
you, me, my wife, our kids.
yeah. I don't want to push it here at the funeral, but I think maybe in a few days I come by and maybe I have a grievance card or I'm sorry for your loss card. I put in Cynthia with a smiley and say let's make up kind of thing.
Well, if you're going for the wrong name, yeah, then put in Cynthia. But if you're wanting to mean it, then it's Cindy. And don't forget, it's Cindy, and she's really particular on how it's spelled.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go back inside.
Okay.
Scene. Dude.
It is my nightmare.
Isn't it?
It's my nightmare.
And the worst is when you're close. It's like that Cindy Cynthia thing. It's so true.
It hurts me. And I've done it where I do make up like some story about why, oh, my sister, I don't have a sister, my sister's named this, or what, oh. It's a nightmare.
I used to do these team building events in Chicago, and I would sometimes have to like separate a group into teams. So I'd have to read out the names. And it was I had flop sweat because sometimes it's like you're dealing with international clients and you're like, and you don't get the names in advance. So it's given to you and it's like, all right, let me read out. And they're like, read out the names of the teams. And I'm like, great, team number one. And it's like, oh boy, here we go. And
My
so
please.
no, that's it. It's just, it's a nightmare for me.
My partner and I have devised a plan if we're out at a public forum where it's like, you know what it's like, you meet people, you're like, I kind of know you, you're a second cousin or whatever.
Yes.
And so if I introduce my partner first, they know Adam doesn't know who this is. So then they say, oh, and what's your name?
That's
and
perfect.
Then I'm like, it's a wonderful, heartwarming plan to have in your back pocket.
Oh my God. I wish, have you watched Veep? Do you know the show Veep?
Love Veep. Yep.
I wish I had a Gary who would just whisper in my ear the name of the person I'm about to say hi to.
Well, the other thing, because sometimes you even know the person's name, but
Yeah.
you may only know them based on social media. And
Yeah.
they have some different avatar
Yes.
and a funny name. And I'm like, I know you as Flip Cup. Like, I know you, but you're Flip Cup to me. That's all I got.
Honey, this is Flip Cup. Hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Flip Cup.
Change your name on Facebook. That's all I got.
Oh, that's so true. And I think, and you're right when you said like that's the first thing in your life. That's the first thing you own is that name, and then having
Yeah.
that name is such a personal connection there. And when you meet someone who goes, Adam, oh my God, and then they talk to somebody who's like, Adam, oh man, he changed my life. He's the first improv teacher I ever had. I see him on stage all the time, and then it's just like, oh shit. How are you? Hey, you. Look at you.
They, like, 15 people have one teacher, but the one teacher has 15 students.
Yeah. And then
It's
you're
hard.
like, I've recently, and not all the time, but every now and then I'll say, and it's very hard for me to do because I want to have that ability to know everyone's names, and I just don't. So
Yeah.
I've recently started saying to people, tell me your name again. Like I've recently done that, but it's so hard for me to do. So having that partner there, yeah, that definitely makes it so much easier to be like, I don't know this person's name, or that I love your code there, where it's like,
Oh,
great.
it's so wonderful, but it is a skill that I think I need to get better at, and it's not something I'm proud of. It's definitely something that I want to improve, because you're right. Like, as you were saying, like when someone says Jay, I think the
Yeah.
study is like it's everybody's name is their favorite word.
Yes.
Yeah, and so to forget it and to just say, that thing that you love that identifies who you are to the world. I have no idea what that is. Oh,
You're just a number to me. You're just a number.
yeah.
Now you're up in Toronto right now, right? You split your time. You're in LA, but then now because of the quarantine and everything, you're up there in Toronto.
Yeah, that's right. And waiting to kind of every day, like everybody else, trying to get some news, and not sure what is the safest plan, not sure what, how to look ahead, but I'm lucky enough to be able to go back and forth. So I'm here for now.
And are you doing a lot of performing online? Like, are you doing anything like that? Are you and Rob? I mean, you do the Backline, which is you have a great podcast together where you talk improv. Like, are you doing any episodes now, or are you doing anything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What we did right now is, because we kind of felt weird about getting people excited about improv and talking about stage specific things.
Yeah.
And so for the last few weeks, we've done a full sketch miniseries. And so we're taking people who have never written sketch, who might be into improv, and said, here's what sketch is, here's a premise, here's how you make a premise, here's the structure, here's genre, here's satire, and to kind of walking everybody through kind of a 0 to 60 sketch workshop that they can actually create some content at home when they feel like they might not be able to do much improv.
Wow. Are you doing that as a class? Like, are you teaching a class together, or how's that? How can people get
No,
involved?
you just listen. It's free. You just listen. It's on the podcast, and so it's called The
Awesome.
Backline.
Yeah.
And basically, Rob and I will kind of interview each other in each episode about like, so Rob, like, what is a sketch? How do you break it down? What is the structure? And then we'll kind of step by step walk you through it. And then, we still get questions. We're still active on the Facebook and Twitter pages.
Yeah.
So if people have questions, they can ask and we can do our best to answer. But we felt like for the first time in 6 years, it was a good time to at least temporarily make the switch to something people could still use their improv skills, and maybe if they're alone, if they're not able to, pop onto as many shows, something they could do to feel creative.
Well, and that's great because you both have experience, not just with improv, but also with sketch and doing, Second City style for years was using improv to write sketch comedy. It wasn't even as a performance piece. It was more to develop material.
Totally. Yeah. And I was on the main stage there, and Rob directed there. And then Rob and I both, there's a Canadian show called Baroness Von Sketch, which is, I think on IFC in the States. So yeah, so I think it's just like anything we can think of, we put it out there, and hopefully it latches on for people, and they can come out of the quarantine with like a whole new sketch packet.
That's great. I mean, and that your podcast has affect, like, it's reached so many people, and it's such
it's so nice.
it's such a great tool for improv, but also it's like the way you handle each and the focus you have for each of the episodes is fantastic, and like it's one of the things that raises the awareness of improv in internationally, because now there's another resource that people have, and so it's just been such a great thing for improv is to listen to those and to have those, because you're giving people tools, and you're talking about like real things, and sometimes diving into like the nitty gritty of it, which is always really interesting to hear.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I think it probably like yourself, like we just really like improv.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we just really like it. And so the idea, like, and it's so funny, like I'm sure you felt this way too, of you'll be teaching a class, someone might ask a question, and that question makes you come up with an answer. We're like, I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's really interesting. And so the podcast has really helped, I'm sure Rob as well, but myself, of like, just through discussing it in a way that we know we have to be clear, we have to be, accessible.
Yeah.
So we have to condense ideas and really streamline them. So it's been a great resource for myself, even creating it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Where can people, if they want to reach out to you, because you're not just a performer and actor, but a teacher as well, and where can people get a hold of you if they have questions or want to work with you and bring you on as a coach or teacher?
Yeah, I'm at Adam Cawley on Twitter. I'm at the Adam Cawley on Instagram. And then there is, you can always reach out to the Backline Pod on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh man, it's so fun playing with you, and I look forward to us playing again. And thanks for taking time out of your schedule, man. It's just a joy, and it's a joy to watch you play as well as play with you.
Oh, back at you, man. I've been watching these happen, and I was very excited when you asked.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. I'll see you soon in LA, man.
I love it.
All right. See you, pal.
Bye.
Bye.